As you guys can see, we are dependent on technology more than ever these days, and that's a little bit what my talk's about. My name is Garrett Kinsman. I'm a student, designer, and I like to think about the things that make up the world around us. I'm going to begin by just mentioning two problems that their solutions will fundamentally change our mobile ecosystems. Humans have formed a bond with technology that many of us can't live without. It's these connected devices, cell phones, tablets, computers, that form our personal mobile ecosystems. We're going to start with music. It's something that makes us human. Some believe that as humans were on the brink of developing language, we sat around together and played music. It's a driving force that brings people together and spurs change. Some researchers are suggesting that these primeval interactions, where people would sit together and listen to music, led to us developing creativity and even language. Music has been a part of humanity for thousands of years, but it is changing. We would once sit around and play music together, listen to a record, or watch TV, has moved to listening alone. We are in the age of headphones. Our first problem, mainstream technology, is making us antisocial. Now, the first device that truly liberated music was the Walkman. Out of fear that we would become antisocial, the designers actually added 2 headphone jacks. This revolutionized the way that people listen to music. It could easily be shared. In 2001, Steve Jobs presented the iPod to the world. This only had 1 headphone jack, but it could store a whole library of music. This fundamentally changed my life, as it did millions of others. Music became truly yours. But with the advent of the iPhone in 2007, the innovation stopped. Today, we scroll through a music library much like we did on the designs of 2007. On Android, it's even worse. Almost every music app, and Android's 80% of the market share, by the way, almost every music app attempts to copy Apple's iTunes, and they don't do a very good job. We're left with an experience that could be a lot better. Our second problem is nobody wants to imagine what's next. Many of us have enormous libraries of music on our devices, yet there's no truly intuitive way to explore and interact with it. I'm working on a project called Audiate. It's my attempt to bring music into this generation. This is an interface I designed that visualizes your whole music library. We can solve the problem of thousands of songs through a simple design solution. This would visualize your music, and with one tap on the graph, say on rock and roll or classical, a playlist would be created so you can explore your music in a different way. Technology is changing faster than ever, and great design will utilize technology's full potential. Well-designed interfaces make even the most abstract technologies tangible. But none of this solves the problem of listening alone. Nowadays, most people listen on their phones, which are tiny networking computers. This is a graph of Edholm's law. It says basically that mobile speeds will increase over time, roughly exponentially. So as time goes on, our devices get better and better at moving data. This compares mobile and fixed rate, so fixed would be like fiber optic connections underground. Right now, those are a lot faster, but some people believe that in 10 to 30 years, mobile speeds might surpass the speeds of land-based internet, which means that our devices that are in all of your pockets today could get better at moving data than some of the best fiber optic connections in the world. The problem today is it's difficult for our phones to talk directly to each other. To move information between 2 devices, say a text or a video, requires an internet connection. OpenGarden, a software company in San Francisco, is using Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, something that almost every device has, to extend connectivity where internet is not available. This is called mesh networking. By connecting devices directly together, a group of people in the wilderness, say without internet connection, can still message each other and move data. Our reliance on the internet and our internet providers has removed a great deal of functionality from our devices. Every phone has the power to create these kind of connections and the power to create this mesh networks. What lacks is the software. What lacks is the creative innovation. So every smartphone has a speaker. Perhaps we can solve the problem of listening alone through mesh networking. The project I'm working on, called Audiate, is imagining what happens if we connect the speaker of this device and the speaker of this device and play music in sync. So instead of people fighting over a stereo cable or fighting over who can control a music player, everybody can connect at once, and every device can become a sound system. You could even work in stereo surround sound. Each person can share who plays the music, or one DJ can take control. The cool part about this is the network can extend and can get bigger and bigger. Connections like this must be extremely versatile because everybody has their own way of listening to music. There's an emotional connection to listening to music that the robotic, computerized streaming services just can't match. Music is curated by those around us. We can build a piece of software that curates discovery and connectivity and creates a whole new medium for listening to music. These kinds of peer-to-peer connections are just becoming possible today. New technology needs a vehicle to get to people. At the turn of the century, wireless radio, a military marvel, was made commonplace through music. We're at the fringe of a new technology, this mesh networking. I think music can make mesh networking tangible. The technology is in almost every single one of your pockets right now. It's up to us to create the software. So Audiate is a vision. Right now it's a collection of ideas and interfaces of a future that is not too distant. Right now we're looking for partners that can help build the technology and assist with funding to make this a reality. So let's teach our mobile devices to talk and bring about a new age of communication and interaction. All of this is completely possible today. Through beautiful interfaces and intelligent design, we can create interfaces that make our lives better. Music is just the beginning. These kinds of connections will bring about a new age of connectivity. So, what if you could host a website from your pocket? The technology will be there soon. I brought along a device called a Pirate Box. It's basically a portable Wi-Fi router that every single one of you can connect to. People are using this device, devices like this, all around the world to democratize data and promote freedom of speech where the internet is oppressed. Through peer-to-peer connections, we can make access to devices like these spread far beyond their original hosts. According to Cisco research, the number of connected devices on this earth will exceed the number of human beings this year. That's over 7 billion connected devices. Samsung and the University of Vienna have created an app that uses your smartphone's processing power while you're asleep to decrypt protein sequences for cancer research. 7 billion devices, that's a lot of computing power. If we begin connecting these devices together, possibly through mesh networking, we can utilize mobile devices to solve problems that only once supercomputers could tackle before. So I invite you guys, become part of the next generation of mobile computing. Connect to my Pirate Box, download or share a file, and leave a note for the next visitor. But ultimately, think about how you can utilize design to make technology accessible, and how we can utilize peer-to-peer mesh networking to connect with those around us. Our smartphones aren't even smart enough to communicate with those around us. Let's teach them to talk, because these conversations will define the next century. Thank you very much.